All right, let's get a check on what's playing out in the crypto market now. We're seeing Bitcoin. That's the major bread in the market at this time, with the other half of the map in the green. And yeah, we see Cardano, Ethereum managed to stay up there, 3.18%, even though we're seeing Bitcoin marginally down. It's about 0.03%, nothing to see there. XRP, 0.56% down. We see TON also in the green there. Going by Coin360, showing the color of the map and the crypto market. Let's look at the sentiment now. How are traders feeling? Looking at the fear greed index. We know it's been quite greedy, for a while, ever since Bitcoin hit that new high. So it's been quite greedy. Investors feeling quite bullish in the market there. All right, let's get a check on the headlines now. We see Trump's social media firm, Trump Media and Technology Group. They've opened a new a plan to raise about $3 billion to spend on cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. That's according to the Financial Times. And people familiar with the matter, Trump Media aims to raise $2 billion in fresh equity and $1 billion more through a convertible bond. And that's according to those reports. And we see blockchain.com is opening a Nigerian office as part of its expansion into African markets, showing regulatory progress there. Blockchain.com is stepping up its presence in Africa, targeting markets where governments are beginning to implement crypto regulations. The UK-based exchange plans to open a physical office during the second quarter in Nigeria, its fastest growing market in West Africa at this point. And we also see XRP open interest. That's soared to $5 billion. Derivatives activity surrounding XRP, that soared to a new high there, $4.77 billion. That's the highest level since May, according to latest data from CoinGlass. So major headlines right there in the crypto market. But let's bring in Rume Ofi now, financial market analyst, to bring us up to speed. Hello, Rume.
Good afternoon, Andy. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rume. So we're seeing Crypto.com there. They're showing interest in the Nigerian market, and it seems they have more attention, that's looking at Africa coming out from Nigeria. How are you seeing that?
The platform blockchain.com obviously sees something in Nigeria. Yeah, also obviously sees something in Africa, and I think it makes a whole lot of sense that this current administration is doing something differently. Because in the past, when we have the then CBN governor calling crypto technology for criminals, we don't have such era anymore. There's a new era, fresh air, where some of the things that we've been talking about, that investors will come to Nigeria and have Nigerians employed or have this industry develop here in this part of the world, is a reality, and blockchain.com is doing just that. The best is yet to come. A whole lot of things are going to be happening. A couple of us are going to be speaking more in that light, and I can assure you that the best of the industry in Africa is going to be led by Nigeria as the giant. Is going to be a testament not seen before. A lot is going to happen, and I can assure you that that drive has started. Last week, a couple of things happened. I was in the northern part of Nigeria, in Kano, and a whole lot of young people came out in this industry to be able to learn and understand what this industry is all about. It's quite encouraging, about 2,000 of them, and I don't think I've seen that kind of crowd before, with a very few notice to that event. It shows that this current government is doing something to enable, and we employ them to do more so that more young people can use this to leverage and be at par with their counterparts in the rest of the world.
Quite interesting. So I guess, youth in Kano, they're interested, in cryptocurrency, going by what you've just said. But are you seeing more adoption or signs of adoption coming from, say, some other states around our region?
So Kano is a very populated state, high amount of young people, with about 44 local governments. I see that other states are actually jumping on that right about now. Other states are jumping on that. Lagos is also doing very well. Lagos, the city of Lagos actually was ranked amongst one of the cities with the highest amount of blockchain jobs and crypto jobs makes a whole lot of sense. But there's also other states like in the south are getting also also in the eastern parts of the
All right, I guess the network is at it again. Well, okay, Rumi, I lost you for a moment there. You were frozen, but
yes, I'm
okay, I
back.
can hear you now. You're back. All right, you can finish your
Yeah,
thought there.
aside Lagos, we have aside Lagos, Kano. We see that in the southeast, we're looking at Enugu, Anambra State. In the South Niger Delta area, Delta State, in fact, has been ranking very high in recent time, right? And I think it is moving, and it's a trend that I believe very soon a lot of people are going to see that it is not business as usual, but the reality of the Web3 industry, cryptocurrency being also part of it, is come to stay in Nigeria.
Right, and do you think all of this attention is coming because Bitcoin is touching new highs at this point?
No. I think what is happening is as a result of the fact that there's a breath of fresh air, although not perfect, that the administration, which promises that they are going to use cryptocurrencies and blockchain in our financial sector when they started, are actually coming up to implement some of these things. Like I said, not perfect. We still have issues of Bitcoin being a security in this part of the world, which we also think is a challenge, but we have to start from somewhere. I think it's as a result of regulation. Regulation is very, very key. When people begin to see that the regulation, policy, compliance, all of these goes together, we're going to attract more people from outside, indigenous as well, to be able to push, and also expecting the SEC to be able to make flexible and give licenses to other platforms that have actually applied in its program. A lot is going to happen. A lot of platforms are going to happen that are going to be doing building projects that are going to be tailored to our unique challenges in Africa and in Nigeria, which is going to make a whole lot of things, transactions, seamless transactions using the digital ecosystem.
All right, so let's look at price action in the market now. So definitely Bitcoin hitting new highs at this point, even though it's still ranging between those levels. Has Rumi the bear come out to play?
All right, this is a very, very fantastic question. You just got me here. So the market is in between, right? We saw what happened with the Truth Socials, where the president of the United States actually spoke, and the market went from about 111, 12,000 down to 106,000, right? So the market is forward thinking, the market is scared. US challenges is there, a couple of tariff tension is there, but Bitcoin, which is leading now, is ignoring all of those challenges and is moving. In other words, I'm not saying that I've become a bull overnight. The market is also very strong, but we also need to be careful. I always stress being careful because of the fact that Bitcoin has been moving in a situation where the odds are no longer getting steam. The odds are losing value. So, for example, an altcoin that is about 60, 40% down and Bitcoin is above his all-time high and is not moving. So imagine Bitcoin dumping about 10, 15, 20%, for example. That means those altcoins are dead. So I'm not trying to be a Bitcoin maxi here, but I'm saying that the market has its mind of its own. Investors are coming in, the BlackRock of this world, institutional investors, are some of the sentiments that we're seeing this volume. Because ordinarily before now, if cases like this are happening, we see the market go down the drain. But now is a time to see that Bitcoin has a confidence of its own and is moving at a pace where it actually chooses, but not for the case of the altcoins. But again, market speculators should also consider the fear and greed index and the VIX, the volatility index as well, to check. Then also check for the stable coin index to see if the amount of stable coins that are, if the stable coins market is gaining, it always suggests that a lot of people are losing faith in the market and they're going to dump some of these, their cryptocurrency, and most especially altcoins. So I would suggest that people should, if they want to invest in the to restrain themselves from coins that are not valuable, not having very good use case, because at the
All
end of
right.
the day, their money, the value of their money is going to go down.
So I guess at this point, Bitcoin might be leaving most of these altcoins in the dust, from what I'm hearing so far. But Rume, always great, getting your perspective at this point. We'll see if the altcoins can follow Bitcoin at some point.
Yeah, so the only time where the altcoins can follow Bitcoin is when we check the Bitcoin and Ethereum pair. If we see that it's moving, we can say, okay, for example, the altcoins are going to gain steam. But we're seeing Ethereum actually do something, but I'm really not optimistic about it because it's looking like we're still going to see some downside of the late 1,700 thereabout, or probably as time goes on. But not to say that it has to happen, but it's something I'm looking at and a possibility of a lot of people buying from that point. So watch out for the Ethereum Bitcoin pair. If it's moving,
Okay.
altcoin can smile, but it's looking like it's not doing anything well right now.
All right, we'll definitely keep tracking that. Thank you so much, Rume Ofi. Always great having your perspective. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, Ladi. Always a pleasure.